This time when I started it, uh, um, or when I plugged it in, it kind of conked, and I wasn't ready to wrap up yet. So here I am again. Oh, really? They're doing a Christmas concert now too. Interesting. And I'm not too sure what that's about. A little bit curious, but right now I'm doing this. So, and what's he doing out of curiosity? More trivia. Then he says he doesn't really like trivia, but he does it all the time. So, and I bet you he's doing trivia. And oh my goodness! Oh wow! I guess I don't remember whether I was still following this one individual or not, but and I know there was a couple of things that made me feel a little iffy, but that Matthew guy I used to follow, who I do kind of miss a little bit, his quirky personality and that. Hmm, interesting. Um, and Maxie on Christmas Eve, near his last song, but he didn't really. Yeah, looks like he may have read them. I wasn't entirely sure, but um, so one thing that I feel will likely determine how long I roll for tonight. I mean, yeah, people will see it after it's posted too. You might show it to them, and or they'll search something and come across it, whatever it is. Um, you know, it's still kind of more that the live that the conversations on the videos happen more during the live. It's just kind of how it. Ooh, and my muscles feel. They don't. I don't feel that sore, but they feel very tight, and my leg feels like not super smooth. Like something about nodules is out of whack. Anywho, so I am going to in a moment go upstairs and see if, not for kind of one of the more usual reasons that I do, but I'm going to see if I'm missing any comments because like I just wrapped up one. Like I say, when I plugged my phone in, it kind of conked. But not only that, it said that there was 6 chats. I put 3. There was that little blurb that you put, and I wonder if maybe that was counting, but that's 4. Where were the other 2? I don't know what's going on because sometimes they show, you know. We got 3 of you here right now, and I'm glad to have you here. Happy holidays if you celebrate. Happy day if you prefer that. Um, I do have a bit of an interactive idea that might give you an idea of something to say if you're a little unsure. And yeah, we did our stuff earlier, which almost didn't happen, but we went out of our kind of mixed feelings a little bit and had a pretty good time. But you know, part of me wishes that I was doing more over the holidays still, but you know what? So no need to be jealous of me. If you're not, I totally understand that as well. Anyway, I'm gonna go up and check to see if there's comments. If you'd like to pick a number between 1 and 3, because there's really not that much left, or actually 1 and 4, and all of you look like you left. Now sometimes that's not accurate, and it says 1 again, so maybe somebody came back and accidentally clicked away or whatever. But yeah, the number between 1 and 4, and we'll count the 4th one as the one over by the tree. I'm gonna very briefly go upstairs, like I say, to see if there's any chats that I'm missing. So if you plan to chat, please put a comment, and actually I'm gonna add that on this screen too. Um, um, Whoops. Just a moment here. No, this one, please. Okay, good. Sometimes it's a bit slow. Okay. And yeah, I hope everybody's managing to have a good day, whether you're doing much for the holidays or not. Um, um, to see if comments show on the device upstairs. Oh, hi from Thailand. Okay, well, I do see one here now. Still, even when I was seeing some in other videos, it seemed like it wasn't, and I know that's going to look funny now that it went underneath your comment, so I'll take it away for now. It didn't seem to be matching up the numbers, but hello from Thailand. Do you celebrate Christmas there and yourself, or not? Um, First time to the channel? If not, how... Ooh, that's weird. It's like a really dark gray. Let me try to message. I guess I'm used to how it shows it there. Yeah, we got 4 of you here. Cool. Yeah, again, curious if it's your first time to the channel. If not, how you come across it. And welcome. We'll do some chat. We'll do some music. We're still full from lunch, and honestly, a little bit under the weather, so we might do a late dinner. I'm sure we'll have a dinner. I'm sure we'll have dinner. Whether it's the big fancy one I planned, probably not. If you'd like to pick a number, like I say, between 1 and 4, I have a bit of an interactive idea I'd like to possibly do. And I think I'm still going to go upstairs and see if there's comments. I know the dog's about to go up to that chair. Like what was that? Well, I mean, that varies anyway. Thailand's pretty big? Is that what you're saying? Asaiwa Lakum. Almost sounds like more of an African name, but I believe you. I believe you. I'm going to guess that the other ones, unless it's inaccurately showing, maybe didn't comment because now it says it's just you and me at the moment. I don't know, some people might say, but hopefully they're polite. Okay. So, have you done much yet, and are you enjoying it? And, yeah, and like I say, we can have general chat. I can do Christmas music. I can do general music. I still, don't forget to like, by the way. I appreciate that. I still might go upstairs and check just to see, because there may be more than, maybe I'll ask you, since you're not being shy. Do you see more than your comments and mine there at the moment? Just because it's sometimes inconsistently wonky, I've noticed. If they weren't showing up, I probably wouldn't do this, because it's about the interactions for the most part, and I don't want people to think I'm ignoring them, because it wouldn't be intentional. Yeah, and if you could pick a number between 1 and 4, by the way, that'd be great. We've got 3 of you here now. I don't know if that's the number we should go with. And now that I'm in this room, you have no idea what. Now that I'm in this room, I almost want to kind of go with the one. Okay, thanks. Yeah, it's the difference between join and subscribe. I didn't even know I had a join button. I think that means that you're a member, and I kind of know what that means, but at the moment I don't remember. I don't remember what a member means on here. But don't forget to like the video. I appreciate that as well. And yeah, we actually do have some photos. A couple of them. But yeah, what was the thing I was saying? I don't know. Yeah, you said you have no idea about what, by the way? So we got 3 of you here. Yeah, I think I'm going to go upstairs very briefly and just check and see. But yeah, I can just ask you. Unless it's what you're saying you have no idea from. But you can see, based on what I asked, it's a visual thing that you can see if there is. And you might think, yeah, so can you. But like I say, it's been wonky. Sometimes it doesn't seem to be showing me everything that's there. I'm not really sure what's up with that. I know there's been times where I've kind of used 2 different devices, and there's 3 actually, when I'm looking at this one. They seem to be saying the same thing. The other person in the house has a device I could look at, though. I guess the like button's not sticking, because you seem to be enjoying being here, but that it was already at 2, I think, before you got here, I believe. Anywho, now that one here. Chapstick if you're curious, chapstick if you're not. And yeah, number 1 through 4. No, it wasn't nobody's here. But that may be inaccurate. It sometimes is. Yeah, I feel like I should be cooking, but he's fine waiting. He really is. I mean, I feel like I'm pushing things back a bit, but I mean, on a normal day, no. But like on a weekend schedule, kind of like we're operating on today, it definitely does feel like that. But if that's what we're feeling like doing, I don't know if we're going to feel any more like it later, but we should definitely have something, you know. So I guess, in other words, we're just playing it by ear. um, but, I'm thinking he's probably going to think that I should probably have went through those bags right now. Or I should, I did go through one, but I should make a bit more progress. I'm trying to remember if one, this one is a bit bigger than the others. If I get this one, then that's making good progress. So we need more clothes. That'll go upstairs. That's a nice shirt. Oh, Paul. Don't know when I want to wear it, but it's a nice shirt. Yeah, this is already at the bottom. It's already turning it, like, just in a day. And I didn't put it in the fridge because I said don't. And that's what turns me off of having him. So you know what? He can have one. I'll get it in a vitamin. Which is, yeah, I don't know if maybe for income tax. I just find this to be an odd brand, Everyman Jack. I don't really, even even though we're past things, into the new year and just kind of in general, but I do feel like I'm missing out on this group. And the other thing I told myself too, I'm gonna have people anyway, but then maybe I'm more likely to comment or browse more. I don't have to be connected to a person in a group to join the conversation. Um, so, and I think it's very ironic. Oh, that's a sweater? Yeah, like I say, I just don't wear them very often. And I would prefer it zip down all the way, and it doesn't. So I don't know what that means. I don't think G really wears them very much either. He wears a lot of blood shirts. So I don't know what to say. It's a nice sweater. I was like, what is your coat like that? I was like, the one you gave me. Mhm. Hope everybody's having a good day. I have to decide what I might want to do with these two. Where I even want to put them. um, yeah, like I have no need for these. Um, we actually have, I'm almost thinking, well, you can bring them to work or we can donate them. Um, really? That would amuse some of you, and the other people would be like, yeah, of course you get that at Christmas, and it's not that interesting. I do need to both pairs. I must have been renting the same pair. 2 or 3 or 4 days sometimes. Another similar style. I quite like the color. It almost looks like it zips down further, or is that my eyes? When I went to have a nap today, with the diabetes and everything like that, the worry of having vision problems coming up, my eye, and this hand was more numb, this eye was more iffy. And that may be common, I don't know. But, and I felt like it was a little bit odd in the corner, maybe a little bit kind of blurring and tender or whatever. I worried if I closed my eyes, am I going to wake up with partial vision or none? But, that being said, You know what she did? Well, that's not quite the same color. This is more green, this is more gray. But it looks like she tried to get, and it does go, it looks like she tried to get matching shirts. And I prefer the t-shirts than those big heavy things. Even though I go with it, which I'm not out in very often anyway. When I am, I'm in a heated car and in a heated place. You know what I mean? Um, that's a really nice gift bag. I must admit. I'm just going to bring something to the other room there. I welcome you in, though. And, yeah. You can still say between 1 and 3. You have a favorite number out of those. Just going to push this back a little bit. Ugh. Yeah, I think we could totally get that couch in here. We got this in here. I think it's bigger. Or at least longer, this couch. My mother was offering us her couch because she likes to have a lot of cushions, even though it's a very cushy couch. Shout out my cousin watching. Oh, you're back. I don't understand why people like shout outs. Can you tell me that first? That's a thing that I've never understood. I mean, I'd probably be happy to do it, but I'm just curious, why do they want a shout out? Oh, and also, I just looked at the name, and that sounds like you're trying to get me to say something naughty. Now, I am all for a sense of humor, but I'm all for a sense of humor, but I kind of feel like time and place with that one. And 17 minutes in, I don't know. On here, I'm just not sure. But the spelling, it almost looks like it could be real. Maybe it is. But maybe it's just the way my mind's seeing it. But anywho, number between 1 and 3, I guess, at this point. I think I forgot that thing upstairs. I think I'm going to go get that. I'll be right back. I see someone just got there. I just wanted to get my heated thing for my muscles. I probably need massage before the night's over, to be quite honest. And I'm going to go check and see how G's doing. She should be downstairs soon. Yeah, at this point in time, sometimes we eat this early. I don't even feel like I want a light meal. But yeah, welcome. I'll be right. Okay, you laugh. You're like, no, don't like what I see. And you're judgy and you're different. I don't want to leave too much stuff here. Oh. Sorry, what? See what? Who? Where? I might give you. I'm definitely gonna share some of the stuff I got today too. Um, Nobody's here. And everybody's there. Someone who didn't seem like them at first did. That's another thing that won't be super motivating to do much more. Oh, who's calling now? Who's calling now? Does it say? Hello? Okay, well, is it him? Somebody calling? Yeah, not calling. Sounds like, okay, we'll go on that when we're talking. How are you? Pops right into weather. Interesting. But this is not a local family member, so. I'm not going to understand his writing style. But we have somebody else here, so welcome, welcome. Oh, that's right. I did want to check upstairs in case there's any comments that I'm not seeing down here. So I'll do that in a moment. There's someone who's kind of spamming trolling. If you see that some messages were... Although... Oh, that's because I clicked to show that. Yeah, so I'll go check that in a moment. If you'd like to pick a number between 1 and 3, not my favorite, but whatever. That's how many bags I have. Well, actually, I might even say. Okay, I don't know why he's wandering. But I'm going to go check and see if the other device, which I'm hesitating to be on because of, okay, I'm guessing not because you looks like you left. Sometimes that's inaccurate. If you are still here, feel free to like. Other than that, okay, at least it shows that now. But I don't know, he's kind of come downstairs and do another stuff, so I probably still got lots of time, and we'll try to do the usual, even though we're early enough to eat early. We'll just sit under the weather and still full from lunch. I mean, usually we get hungrier quicker, but hello, Thomas, how are you? Season's greetings, or however you wish to hear it. We got somebody on the phone in the other room, but was about to go dog walk, and he might come back on the phone when but he's in the other room. So yeah, I don't want to be too noisy with music, but I'll try and do it again. Always helpful to have suggestions. I've been feeling a bit under the weather today, but I guess you're at the end of your Christmas day, unless you're into the next day. So hopefully you've had a good one. Hopefully it wasn't too stressful. And thanks for the like, by the way, as well. There was something, I don't remember which window I have it in, that I had open. Well, I open on the computer right now. But there was something that I wanted to look at that may give some song ideas. They do different things. One person saying something in one room, one person saying something in another. I'm not even sure what window it was in, though. I haven't been on the computer very much, and I not really feeling like being on it much now at the moment. Yeah, feel free to mention how your Christmas has been, though, if you've done anything for it. Um, and if you'd like to pick a number between 1 and 3, I know the two people are here now, but you don't have to pick two. You can if you want. Um, and I welcome you both. Um, yeah, I really don't know. I'll probably have to do that tomorrow when I've spent a bit more time bouncing around on my open things on the computer and I'll come across it. I also think that the stuff I have there right now I want to look at more closely. It could be this one though. Oh, that's weird. I click it. Okay, there we go. Um, but yeah, I don't know if I want to look at optic neuropathies or not. It's good to maybe know about it, but I don't want to get myself anxious that it might happen to me. I already am, but the more I know, the more either the better I feel or not. Just a moment. G doesn't multitask very well. I don't know if he's being on the phone while he's doing the dog walk. If he's... Oh, hi, Leanne. How are you? Nice to have you here. Um, I kind of thought you don't remember the like, and we got three people here, and I know at least who two of you are. Um, I kind of thought you'd be having your Christmas dinner. You're either 421 or 621. You are in here. I haven't been rolling that long. Well, I had to restart because the other one conked out when I plugged in my device. But other than that, feel free to like. Glad to have you in the chat. There's that funny symbol again. I know you're not putting it. And it just seems to be. That's another thing that seems sporadic about the chat. I don't know what that was that. And let me know, by the way, if I'm missing any. I mean, there might be some of yours. I don't, or, if I'm missing any comments, it's not intentional. They're just not showing. I am going to go look upstairs though. So if the third person is here and saying something as well, I'll check. I mean, I am seeing some, but I feel like it's only showing me some. But yeah, so have you already had your Christmas dinner? How's your Christmas going? Um, yeah, I'm slightly surprised to see you here, but happy about it. Um, he's just talking to his brother in the other room, but he was going to go do a dog walk. Only the brother had called 15 minutes later, but he might be using a guest phone where he's staying because he's either in the hospital or in a facility. And so the phone might get used by some. I mean, he could just watch for it and try and get. But actually, somebody else called and said, "I'm going to transfer you this time," and that hasn't happened before. And I don't think we have a number we can reach him at. So, but I would say maybe he should go with him and walk and talk at the same time. But um, but maybe he figures that'd be tricky. I have a funny story. Well, I don't know if I want to tell it. Um, here. But it was funny how it came up. And there was an extra element to it, which was quite funny. Okay, so you're just kind of full from dinner and just kind of relaxing in the room, letting you be in for the night. And yeah, my one grandmother's long gone. Never met her actually in person. And my other one, like, how do you meet her then? Or you might guess. By the way, I kind of think that you'd like to think that your dad is okay with that kind of stuff because you are, and you'd like to think so. But I must say, I wasn't on his channel very long, and it suggested the For You section for some reason. And at first, I saw the rainbow and the fact that it was preaching, and I thought, okay. But then I thought, well, then you're Eva. So I was like, okay, maybe he's preaching love, But then it was kind of like he was more so talking about the other thing. But I know, honestly, you're cool with both. You want to be. That's why you're still trying to figure things out. And this is where I think agnostic makes a lot of sense. And I did a video about that a couple days ago, actually. But yeah, as long as you're accepting and loving, that's the main thing. And I'm not saying he isn't, but he's older. He might be more in his faith, and sorry. Oh, but yeah, no, we're sleeping in the living room. Okay, so you wanted a break from things from the family for a bit, I guess, and you got your headphones on there, and you're just hanging out, I guess. Um, I was talking a little bit the other day, or maybe earlier today, because our plans were little after I did a stream, and basically, um, and by the way, you asked how I am. My health is feeling a little iffy. I'm glad that the get together today went well, though, and yeah, I was talking about my grandparents' kind of themed basement rooms. I'm just running upstairs to look quickly at the other laptop to see if it's showing stuff that, yeah, the key didn't relaunch, but sometimes they do, that this one isn't. But, I mean, I am seeing some comments, that's for sure. There's three of you here. Thomas is, might still be here, being on a client, but, oh. I haven't missed anything other than the comment you just put, which I'm guessing will show here. Also, if you could pick a number, be so kind as to pick a number between 1 and 3, that would be delightful. And I'm not sure where the others being right at the moment, but I always feel bad, I'm always happy to have Thomas here, but I understand that English is not your first language, and you'd rather I be doing music. So if anybody wants to suggest any music, I mean, my energy level's a little so-so, but you're very welcome to. But yeah, headphones on, so you're not disturbing them what they're doing. That's great. And then wondering about what you're doing, or maybe they are. But and sitting with my grandparents, my parents. Your parents aren't staying. Say college university. Your parents aren't. Well, they probably wouldn't anyway because I don't think leave that together. But they're not staying as well. There wasn't room. My mother said that she had no spare room, but we were upstairs today, and I saw two rooms with beds in it that didn't have that much clutter in them. It's interesting kind of how we kind of figured how G kind of worded how, our two homes and the level of organizations, whatever. Okay, cool. Rode around, yeah. Or in rows, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, basically, but yeah, my grandparents had a themed basement. But, and both of the beds were really high at my place. And she was saying something about, you have to have your pillows just right, for health reasons or whatever. But I don't know, maybe they organized one of them. I think the numbers stayed the same pretty much the whole time. So I think the other people, you're just not saying anything. But I'll check again shortly. No, my biological dad is down. Right? That's what I think I would have guessed, actually. And hopefully you had a nice conversation with your biological mother. The others don't have to be shy just because I'm talking to her, but if you're shy anyway, but I mean, why be shy with me, really? Yeah, so, we're still full from lunch, like I said. I hate to keep repeating myself. It's not showing a preview. Well, you know what? But I can remember that the base goes so fast that's probably fine. From lunch, we might have a late dinner. Well, we're going to have something. I was going to make peas and stuffing and potatoes and possibly a pasta and those steak things. But now I'm thinking maybe just the plant-based steak, which is actually pretty good and similar in pasta. Maybe a couple cookies each, Good talk with her. Okay. Okay, well, that's good. You know, we did a quick errand on the way back home, and there was a bag left in front of a Value Village type place. And I think those are more than places. And it actually wasn't a Value Village, but a similar type place. And of course, while we were sitting there, somebody came up and looked in it. I knew it wouldn't take long. Then there was another lady with a sign, and Miss Depp was in the car trying to say, "What does the sign say?" And was trying to make it out. She says, "I don't know, but I don't really want to stare." I went back into the car, and she asked if I could help. I said I had no cash on me, which wasn't a lie. Although, yeah, that was in a cart at home. It was near the bank, so she could have said, "Well, but you can get some, right? Whatever." But but you know, G was Jinsey, said he gave me more than usual on the previous, but I don't think that's true. And anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. But I do still plan to give that gift card, and I didn't have it on me; it was still at home, and because I decided I would do it on a day that's decent enough weather, as something to go out and do. So and he put it in his. It's like yours has been sitting around. It's like, yeah, and I still plan to do this, you know. So I've got it back, and I've got to remind me that I might do it on bike. I've got a skateboard figurine. You know, makes sense. Things on wheels, basically. But Meals on Wheels, almost, you could say. But yeah, so yeah. So, but definitely. You know, we drove past a place. Again, this is not specific to only where we live, so I don't think it's saying anything particular. But there was a really nice music mural, kind of not far from my mother, and in between our two places. They painted over it, and it was like 10 or 11, and it's usually the little bit that I've been going past it lately, which isn't often. It's usually busier out front, but I figured they must have all been in eating. Um, but yeah, my eyes are feeling heavy and iffy. I don't. At the same time, I don't feel sensitive to the light right now. I've been feeling like a bit of a sore stomach. I've got my neuropathy acting up, slash arthritis. It's a fun experience I'm having. Most of this morning I wasn't. I was feeling all right though. Um, and that was actually my shoulders are a bit tight. As you're getting old, I tell you. Yeah, we had some good laughs today. I appreciated that. But yeah, it almost became uncomfortable a couple times, but it was kind of glossed over, or didn't go too far, and luckily, we weren't there longer than we were, or it may have. Uh, but maybe I am sensitive to this light, but it would be too dark with it on, I think. Oh, really? Committed? I think you mean commented, but honestly, either would work probably. And I'm glad that you're in the chat, definitely. Um, and you sound like you're feeling a bit better. Why hadn't you commented? I mean, I don't know if they'd go to my notifications, but I'm gonna, do as I sometimes do, and maybe do a year in review, whatever, and look back at some of them anyway, whether I want to show them to G or whatever, if he's not been around, which is mostly. Um, but yeah, why hadn't you? Oh, seriously? I don't know about being on the big screen. Maybe I want to be a slight rock star, musician, celebrity, and I realized what you meant. I mean, it was just a space missing. I can figure that kind of thing out. I'm not trying to say that you're saying I'm stupid, but it almost kind of feels bad. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if I want to be on the big screen. You know, Instead of okay not being. Um, what's wrong with me on the small screen? Is that not good enough? um, yeah, apparently movie theaters might be open. I don't even know what's in them these days, and part of me, I don't know, doesn't want to know, because I'm sure I would think some of them are trash or garbage, but some of them might be good. But I haven't been to a movie theater in ages. But anyway, so think of some songs you might want to hear, and if you could pick a number between 1 and 3, that'd be great. And other than that, yeah, I don't want to make myself eat if I'm not hungry just because I feel like I should be eating. Like, we shouldn't do that, right? And if we want to get religious, which I'm agnostic, but, Jesus fasted, you know. But I definitely think we'll eat before bed because otherwise, I know, and that's always the thing when people are talking about, oh, I gotta eat, or I want to eat. When the other person's hungry, it's like, okay, but that's the last thing I want to do. Like I said, I don't really feel like I want to right now, but before bed, otherwise, I will get hungry. I'm used to it. No, it's just late. I leave my phone downstairs. It's interesting that you're not attached to your phone. So your phone is downstairs. You're upstairs with them using headphones and I guess Bluetooth on your TV. Fancy stuff. Fancy stuff indeed. Yeah, hopefully he's got a good hold of the dog if he doing anything while he's on the phone. My sinus is a little bit stuffed in my throat. If you haven't met G and the GNC, we go by those letters. You might get to. Oh, yeah, this one it drops a lot in its walk in. If it does what it did last time, when it has to be plugged in again, that might be when we switch tasks. But you might get to meet G. I don't know if you've seen him in any other videos, or not. Have you? Or if you just heard me talk about him. Because I do that from time to time. But yeah, you're not picking a number. Maybe I'm not meant to look through other bags right now. I don't know. But like I said, I'm not cooking, so like I said, I might not have as much, but I'm not ready for any food right now. It's not, I could say it's depression, but it's not. That's the other thing that bothered me. There was a couple things that were said. Now that counting up too. There was a photo on. They had like 3 hutches in the dining room, at least I think so. And there was a photo of someone who passed away in May, in his 20s or 30s. That it sounded like my mother maybe met a couple times, but my step knew more. And he said, oh, he didn't like himself, and he gained some weight and went a little crazy. He had depression. And I did make some comment, well, depression doesn't mean crazy. I don't know if it was just the way it came out or if he was saying that. It can make you feel a little crazy at times. But and then he also said that the other lady that was there, he said her daughter wasn't very good. And G got curious. And he said, oh, well, some people are so mean, like he doesn't let her over to the house. That might not be a mean thing. That might be a self-care wellness thing. But like I say, I went out of my comfort zone today, or I felt mixed feelings, went out, did happen to enjoy it. It could have went either way, My grandmother cooked ham. I really want, I don't believe there's anyone else here right now, so gee, we hear this for the second time. And my mother could be telling it to the people that they're with now. So, AFB, I need to take a drink of water. There's this video, brother and sister, I remember karate, she remember boxing, and basically, are you still there? It looks like you're not, but I'll tell it anyway, and hopefully you are. Okay, I think you're back. Anyway, basically, the brother says, I'll give you a piece of meat, or you want a piece of meat or whatever? Apparently it's from a movie or whatever. And then the sister says, I'll give you a piece of ham. And I'd forgotten about this. I forgot the details. Okay, thanks for being specific. And most of that's been here. I appreciate it. And you're the only one chatting at the moment. But anyway, basically, I had forgotten the punchline or whatever, and then years later I saw that clip again, and it kind of went full circle. And then I sent my mother a video, and she's not much of a YouTuber, but she does like pet videos. And basically, there was this British or Scottish lady. She was hyper. She otherwise sounded British. I don't know why my mother thought that she sounded odd, but because Anyway, and she had her dog there, and she's like, would you like some ham? Would you like some ham? Blah, blah, blah. And it's not. And I didn't watch very much of it, but she apparently watched all of it to see how it turned out. She said, for like 20 minutes. And then I don't know if the dog ended up getting any ham, but I don't know if the dog should have either. Yeah, we definitely should keep that good gift bag or whatever. And I'm thinking play piano or do stuff downstairs, because I don't feel like cooking or eating right now, like we said. Maybe later at the usual time. And yeah, we'll play it by ear. I'll either feel less like it or more like it, but we'll definitely have something. I got alerted that you were live, but oh, really? Oh, that must have been the earlier, oh, maybe it was this one. This one's been 46 minutes. If you'd like to hear Gia on the piano, ask for a song. you might not be up into the idea at the moment. One of the rare times. But yeah, that's a pretty good alert to get though. But yeah, like I say, can't. So I had to start again. If the second person is commenting, can you tell me if there's any comments from other people while you're here that I'm not reading? I forgot to read your mind, but that I'm not reading because that means I'm not seeing them. Then I don't have to go upstairs and look. Is it next to that thing that sounds like it's about to, rocket through the roof? Okay, yeah, good enough. Oh, okay, sure. Oh, good enough. Almost. Oh. But, yeah, there's a part of me that feels like I want to slow down a little bit, but, there's somebody here, so I'm happy about that. So I was going to give it over to you for a moment, but maybe I'll just have to heat up my coffee. You can't really think it's pretty loud. Didn't you say you're just watching me, though, and otherwise it's just your grandparents around? How loud are your grandparents? Well, I mean, mine, and everybody's different. Even some old people are loud. We certainly got loud today earlier. And normally that would kind of get to me a little bit at times. Thank you. But I was part of it. And there was only 5 of us. I'm feeling like I was talking is like making my eyes feel weird. Or they just are. Uh, oh, okay. So you actually are using your phone then? Or are you calling this the movie? I'm so confused. Yeah, I'm so confused. And dare I ask what movie? Well, it'd be probably something kosher with you guys. Because it was like... Yeah, I was surprised how laid back my step was about the drinking. Because, yeah, Carol was doing it. She wasn't getting drunk or anything, but she made a couple little jokes, and she was. I had Prosecco for the first time. I drink a red beverage, which is my least favorite color, but it was cranberry, and apparently it's supposed to help the blood. I'm being just as much. I don't know if it's helping or not, but okay, cool. Didn't like the movie. What are they watching? I mean, hey, I'm not complaining. You're the only one here chatting at the moment. There is somebody else watching. Hopefully, they don't be shy, but maybe they just enough just to try and keep up, perhaps. And if you're shy, you're shy. Maybe you come out of your comfort zone. Maybe you don't. Are you doing much else with your holidays, or? But yeah, I can't remember what other than that we were 2 or 3 streets away from their place where our other relative lives. But I feel like there was something else. I saw some old pictures of them today, actually. I almost want to show them. That way, if I'm ever talking about them, you'll know who I'm talking about. But you did say boring. This is not an olden days movie. It's a very modern. Just kidding. Usually, but yeah, I think you're crazy seeing them to believe in that. It's very interesting experience, but you watch the opera, and that happens. I do want to. You know what I'm going to ask? Then you can see them full size. Can I ask you to take a few quick minutes and send some of those photos that I took to me in Messenger, please? Okay. Hush, hush, hush. Again, number between 1 and 3. We've got to go through those bags. I'm going to turn this off, I think. The way I have it facing, it's not really going to get the shadow anyway. Yeah, and it's still pretty bright on the screen. While I'm doing this, I'm going to take an opportunity. I really should have more coffee. I think I put it in the fridge to wait for later. But my throat and my sinuses are telling me, we're having a good time chatting, so I don't want to just wrap her up. And I'm plugged in, so we're almost at 100%. But I do feel like my throat's going to need it. Or should I have tea? Well, there's still sugar in that, at least the way I have it. Well, you said you would tell me. Yeah, I'm looking to see that person can describe. Um, who was that? Oh, did she? Yeah, I think she did that while I was watching her. I'm seeing someone who did subscribe, and I remember her videos. There's kind of an interesting detail about her. And she streamed 3 hours ago. It's mostly her just saying hi to the other people watching. Yeah, we're staying in. Yeah, you did mention that. Did you forget that you mentioned that? Yeah, if it was my grandparents' house, the ones that I met in person, it would be either a choice of a Scottish themed room or a log cabin. My sinuses in my throat, like I say, I don't want to wrap up, but I am thinking I need a beverage. I'm thinking tea might be better. I don't drink a lot of tea, but I'm really thinking tea might be better. What was the other thing? Oh, yes, I wanted to send some of those pictures. If I could figure out how to do that. I don't remember taking that picture, but okay. This was kind of cool. Oh, it's really interesting how that shows. Well, at least you have headphones in, so they're right next to your ears, because this is as loud as I'm going to get, for the most part. This is me when I was young. It's weird how it's doing that light thing. Um, that's too blurry. That's a decent one of my grandparents. And the photo underneath, so the head of my aunt back in the day. Um, I almost didn't see the button to do it. That's really strange. That's really strange. So I might just stop there. And if I go from this, it might not load it back up the same way. So I'll keep working on that process. But yes, I think I need to make some tea. He's busy, distracted, and also not hungry. I'm sure I'll get an appetite because I'm used to eating in the evening. Just usually, unless on the weekends, not this early. I'll stop repeating that, I promise. But yes, there is somebody else watching. Part of me thinks, you know, unless you want to chat, why stick around? I mean, I understand maybe it's a sense of company. I mean, because why wouldn't you want to chat, right? I hope that you like, and I hope that you're thinking good things. Otherwise, start to. Otherwise, watch something else you'd rather enjoy. Like why be here if you're not enjoying? I don't know. It's just. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm curious what you're thinking, and if you're not speaking, then it's kind of. Not that I'm saying everybody has to, but and at least somebody is. I appreciate that. But yes, I'm gonna. I miss Murray and Roger. That name came up a couple times. If you have to get off, you can. If you don't feel good. No, I don't feel that terrible. No, I'm happy to have the company. It's about 6 o'clock almost here, and we did have that social time earlier, but it's the holidays, and he's doing something else, and I'm happy to have someone here to chat with. Um, I'd just be watching videos by myself otherwise, and I can do that later. Um, yeah, sorry, we're just about an hour different. Yeah, I figured if you'd had dinner, it would be PM. And just spending the night at your grandparents' house, right? Just kidding. But yeah, I should have some tea and feed the dog. What I might do, though, and it might not take very long, and that is I might unplug it now and then only roll unless things are really chatty, aside from just you, because, we're already chatting, um, then I might continue. But otherwise, okay, yeah, he's making noises down there. Not that kind of noises he's doing. He's testing out some new gifts. Um, well, it's breakfast and I'm literal. Ray wasn't. When she sang, she wasn't. And I don't know how she did it. I woke up actually this morning thinking of a song that's probably the last one I ever heard her sing. And then there was a couple other, there was one last night around midnight, made me think of her, and then something else. I don't know why you're not picking a numbered bag, but I know now I'm thinking about one. What kind of dog? Ours is almost 6, I believe, already. Hard to believe. And today, where I was, this is kind of an interesting tidbit. Um, their dog is. First of all, how old do you think the oldest dog is? And that's not the one in our family. Labrador mix, not a labor. Ooh, pit. How old do you think the oldest dog is? It happens to be in Italy. And actually, at first I remembered a different number, but no, I think I more so remember the other age, which is only 4 years older than ours. But for some reason, Carol said, "Oh, I think he's," and then was 3 years off. I mean, you'd think you'd remember a dog that age, unless you were thinking about somebody else, but that's the dog she was talking about. But yeah, he might set a Guinness record. And he was apparently not feeling very well today. He seated in his crate with the door open, and he let us reach in and pet. There was only a couple times when he lifted his upper lip, but didn't really growl or whatever. Little min pin. And then the other min pin passed away already. Yeah, I thought they should have had more carpets. They did have some in the living room because he seemed like he was slightly slipping. He's very tall, well, not like a big dog, but tall-ish for a small dog. Very thin. Didn't look unhealthy, but my dog that died, and she lived 25. Oh wow! But in dog years, 102. Well, last person that I know that passed away, the two last ones, one was 32, one was 104. If you've never heard me mention that, and then their dog is 20. The oldest dog. Are you sure? Are you sure you're remembering correctly? Is 25? Because you're not in Italy, and they looked it up. Unless this has been since then, they said the oldest dog was 24. At that point, though, the quality of life, just like a human, it's interesting that you know what it is in dog years. I know that there's a difference, but yeah, so it was neat. He's got a his pumpkin and his something else, and it was really watery looking, and yeah, just was moving very slow. Yeah, she was health. Hmm. Okay, tea time. We don't have much tea, and I don't drink much tea, so it's a bit of a yeah. That's the other thing. It's the noise. Um, well, maybe it is coffee then. In which healthy? She was healthy. Okay, I have to run upstairs for about under 5 minutes. Um, I would think that this cold water would be helping my throat, but that being said, then food might actually feel better for it. Yeah, because it's doing this weird thing on the computer where normally I can preview like a lot, and the dog's just settled down, but I'm not planning to sit down for very long. And as soon as I get up, he'll get up. I haven't left too many things for him to get into, right? Um, but yeah, I scroll at the 2002, scroll on the bottom, and it's supposed to be showing me a preview a little bit. I can get a rough idea. I know there was one thing. I was like, I can't tell what that is, but it was a camera, video camera, I'm pretty sure, right? But it's not doing that with this one, which is strange. Uh, but so I have to run upstairs very briefly, make sure the dog behaves, welcome anybody in that tunes in along the top. I won't be long. And yeah, we didn't really have much tea, so I guess I'm gonna have coffee, and maybe I should cook something. You know, he's still getting to do what he wanted to do beforehand, and possibly also some music. Um, and then it's not quite waiting that long, and then we have the rest of the night to get through. You know, so you're helping a little bit with that. Um, then we don't have much plans until New Year, and I'm not even sure what, other than maybe some filmmaking collaborations at this time is what I can see. Oh, and I do have a meeting either, like I say, Monday or Tuesday night, virtually. But okay, so my system's telling me to I have to go upstairs for a moment. The dog's laying there with his head not on his feet. You're the only one here right now, so I'll show you. He's laying kind of funny. I think he's like, "Are you getting up in a moment or not? Should I relax or will I need to get up?" It's like I could walk past you, but you'll get up when I get up and do so. So to either look around by the couch. Yeah, follow me. That's sunny. I'll show you again because you're right. He is. He's just holding his head in a funny way. I don't know why. He's young. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's just not sure whether he wants to put it on his rest it or not. Okay, he just did. But yeah, I think one thing that'll probably help my health, and I usually don't, but sometimes I try and ignore it for a little bit, is if I pay attention when my body says I need to do something, instead of, prolonging it, because that might be causing problems. I mean, other things might, one thing I will say is my hands feel fairly okay right now from the neuropathy. My feet, so-so. My lower legs aren't burning. Throat and sinuses, like I say, a little bit. But yes, I'm going to get some coffee going, I think. And we'll go from there. And yeah, I'm thinking I'll have some pasta with some plant-based steak and a couple pierogies, and then we'll add to the leftovers tomorrow. We'll add, but I mean, it's ready whenever he's ready. If he's still doing stuff down there, he's still doing stuff down there. If he comes up and decides to play piano, he does that. The potatoes and the stuffing will add to tomorrow's. Green beans, uncertain. Should I make them? Bag 1 through 3. We got to get these out of here soon. I could put them by the tree by now for now, but there really isn't that much room. Why is there a sandal sitting here? Well, there's two of them actually, and this one looks like it's been chewed, and it has. So even though he's not a puppy, and she sometimes gives him too much credit, and he has improved a lot, he's still naughty. I guess that kind of works. I don't think it's that in the way. You might not even notice that. Okay, I haven't made it upstairs yet, so I'm going to do that. And then I'll have my coffee and some warm food. He might even be hearing what I'm saying and getting a gist of the plan. If not, you and I are, and that's the main thing. Let's put these back in the fridge for now. Yeah, the door's kind of open. What I might have is from that agency. Actually, that's not as big of a piece of pie. And he's got a bit of leftovers. I've actually been kind of enjoying the meringue pie. A little bit nostalgic, a little bit sugar, but yeah, I can tell. I appreciate it. Is I have a very little bit of carrots, which would honestly help the eyesight. Although I'm probably going to prefer vitamins, because that doesn't feel like me eating carrots. I don't hate them. I just don't like them. And I always say my eyesight's too good. I don't need them. I see plenty of stuff, sometimes more than I'd like to, but it is what it is, right? But there's a little bit of cranberry sauce and stuffing from that meal, and if I get sick because it's been since the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, almost exactly a week, then I do. I can rest and recoup. We've done our holiday stuff now, pretty much. The rest of the family's either in heaven or not local and super connected. I might get a message from my brother in France sometime. I might not. Want good, stay good, miss the pics. Easier on comp. I don't know what that means. Rent a corner after tell something. I don't know what that means either. Seemed like it wasn't going to scroll more, and then it scrolls more. I don't know if you want to hear more about my health or not. But yeah, if I don't get Berg's email today, I don't. It's not like you say he's going to try and make a plan. He might be open to a Skype call, but we don't have I don't know if we even have a Skype that works. And our Zoom's been wonky, so I don't think we could make it happen anyway. And a minute ago, we're going to do this weird thing about families. But, and it's kind of boring. I don't know if I have that much to say. I mean, yeah, I've been rambling pretty constantly in here, but that's different. I can pace myself, and you're on the other end, wondering what I'm saying next, and I'm here doing the same. You know what I mean? I just don't want the dog to get into this stuff here. But if he did, from what I'm seeing in the preview, I really don't think he could. I don't know if that would stay. If I stacked them, okay, even better. Okay, I still have not ran upstairs. I'm going to run upstairs. and then I'll see this sitting there. I'll see it on my way back. Honey, behave. Good, you're sitting there nice. I want to give you your dinner when we're having ours. I'm starting to get into the mindset for it now. Okay, so I'll be right back. This is kind of an interesting angle you're getting. Coming up and down the stairs. And he's buying a stairway to heaven. Well, I'm doing more, leaving my legacy and something for the people when I pass away. When that will be, who knows? Might be a few years, might not be for longer. Weird red stripe that almost looks like a heart in the back. How busy is the street, out of curiosity? Thanks for waiting. It's funny, there was two kind of matching little white cars out there earlier. Yeah, it's pretty full as far as I can see. So people are having people over. Hey, so I need a pulling thread. There was something else I was going to say. I can't remember what, so that I'll have to do. Okay. So we have a little bit of leftover noodles. Well, actually more than I thought, and I think that's good enough. You know, I've eaten fairly healthy today. I'll have a little bit of that, a couple of pierogies, and the steak bites. And then he has his leftovers, a couple of pierogies, and that's good enough. There was somebody else very briefly there, and yeah. I don't feel like repeating it, so if anybody asks, that's what I'm making. So you can tell them, I appreciate your help. As a good mod that you are, even though I forgot that I made you one, but I'm not entirely surprised that I did. Yeah, 3 in there, booby boop, 4, 5. Hello, hello. I heard this was the kitchen bit, and my family has kind of done their dinner thing too, so I just wanted to say hello, Merry Christmas, and I'm glad you're having a good one. Heard you talking about us earlier today. Yeah, and that was awkward because my mother never gave the condolences. Hey, where'd you go? Did you realize what was happening? Did you leave because of that? But especially she didn't think I knew of a particular famous singer. I said they're famous for a reason, you know. And then I went almost a while. I said Murray came up. Okay, so let's see here. There's already some of that stuff, so I just want to do a little bit of this stuff, which kind of got a little bit soft. Normally I wouldn't do it in such a big thing, but I'm not going to make a big thing about it. But I will. Because the other stuff isn't clean yet and I don't feel like doing it. It will get done soon though, by either me or G, but I think it's enough to make this. And I just don't want to put it off too late. I'm kind of thinking about it now and getting into the idea of it. And yeah, I'm also not going to force myself though. When I had as much as I want to have, then I've had as much as I want to have. This bread, I think I really like it a bit first, so I'll have a bit of that. But I think the only thing that's going in there is this, and I probably put too much butter, and I should put a bit back maybe. Or margarine, I guess. Butter is the stuff that doesn't get soft, even if it's been sitting out for a little while. Say, monkey. So you can have a little bit more Christmas, because I don't know if we'll find the other stuff. I'll probably have some of these as a late night snack. Oh yeah, right. I have this even, and it hasn't spread, even though it's old school. And I decided I was going to make it, so where's the knife so I can do so? Who knows? Somebody cleaned up in here, just kidding. But, found another one pretty easily, so that's good. Now, a lot of you probably already know the pro way to cut an onion, but makes me think of my high school days where I first learned, and then never did it that way since. I do it like this, you know? I am going to go outside with my little brother. Yeah, make us snow angels, like the angels that you are. Earth angels that you are. Well, you have fun. Thanks for stopping by. I don't think I'm going to roll again tonight. After this, I'll be pretty much zonked out. But tomorrow, most likely. So maybe we'll see you then. It's been lovely having you here. And again, happy holidays. I should not touch my eyes as that's just temporary, but as I'm cutting an onion. Although some onions are not so much like that, I think. But, yeah. Oh! Maybe just decide what we're doing with this soup and then do it. I don't think I feel like this right now. I'd actually rather mush it and then do something with it. If he wants, he can have it on his pasta. He's still off to Monday. It's not long, not far, but it's Friday and then the weekend. The holidays kind of fell at the end of the week this year, so it is what it is. This is the one I wanted to give them. I think it's okay, but it's very oil-based. And then, next time I see him, I'll give it to him. And then, give me vitamins and life is grand. I should get those out soon. But again, I'm eating so healthy today, even though apparently some people, they don't get what they need for vitamins even when they're eating healthy. Their body just doesn't do that for them. Those little gel capsules are so tiny, but I will go through the rest of those bags. Maybe I'll say, you know what, I've went through some of them. They're kind of out of the way. But if you'd like to pick one of these three for us to look at together, we'll do that. It was kind of the plan tonight, so. Okay, I got to get the, where are they? These in here. Well, they've been thawed out for a couple days, but that's okay, I think. Make sure that they look okay inside, yeah. Rip me open, do the same, I was kidding. I'm kind of mixed as to whether I like them boiled or fried better, but they are a little doughy. Somewhere in between the middle. Well, actually, sometimes I will do a bit half and half. I'll boil them first and then I'll fry them for a few minutes. I guess I could. I'll be right back. Hi. Trying to gather them. I'm doing a little bit of that. A little bit of something. Do you have a preference between fried or boiled? Already got it started right. I said what I said, so I don't know if I have a preference or not, but ended up Maybe there wasn't a clip. There could be if there's one in here, and there is. Big ones. I like big clips, and I cannot lie. Just kidding. The other clips can't deny. And a clip box. Anyway, don't mind me. So that's 2 each. There's a part of me that wants to... Does anybody else ever do that? Partly boiled, partly fried? Partly boiled, partly... Yeah, but if you do, I think you boil them first. Oh, see, I can't... He wants to fry. And I'm going to take the broken one over here. I'll do one first. I'm tempted to make some and then I could just heat them up later. Even though I know I just put them away. This feels weird to boil one, even though there's seasoned salt, like the salt cubes for the horses. Yeah, there was someone there, then I thought it previously do, and then it says someone again. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. Happy holidays if you celebrate. Happy day if you don't. We should all try and celebrate happy days. Oh, happy days. Sorry. Okay. And, yeah. So that. I've been getting back into eating green beans, but after having them a few times in a row, I'm kind of feeling like I want to take a bit of a pause on those. Pause and reflect kind of thing. Just kidding. But I am enjoying getting back into them. Anybody find any herbs, you know? Oh, they got a different apple. So this and this we'll have for tomorrow. And that. And we'll have this bread. Let me cook that. Yeah, just like that. Oh, it's not on anymore. That'll turn the other one off. So what else do we got here? Don't be shy. If you're commenting, like, so that I know, and I can run upstairs maybe quickly and see. But yeah, some of them may be showing, some of them may not be. So I'm not ignoring anything. It's just been a bit wonky lately. But if you are, like I say, give it a like, which I appreciate anyway, and then I'll go look. I'm going to roll for a little bit longer, not much, but a little. I really didn't do that much. And some of them are big pieces, but whatever. Okay, I guess you're just watching. Hopefully you're enjoying, otherwise, what's up you enjoy? Okay, you're laughing. Oh, yeah. Oh, Marcy. Whoa! I just heard collectively a bunch of angels singing, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Actually, kind of in that melody. Which is funny because we joked about the song. Well, not joke, but we said, when I said, hell yeah, and playing the yeah, loud opera. I said, we entered the opera house. I should have said car. He said, well, it wasn't, it was classic. But loud opera in the car, and then he had turned the radio on almost instantly as if he wanted to be loud enough. But he didn't have it super loud, or he turned it down, and that was good both times. Because him and G weren't probably that loud. Cut it. But I just need more stuff. I don't want to melt the spatula. Well, it's not boiling hugely, but it is kind of. It's got a bit of a crack in it, so. Okay. Yeah, this way I don't over-portion it. I mean, I can stack it high, but this way I won't over-portion things. If I want it to be a little bit different, I don't usually have Swiss cheese on pasta. sort of considering it. Do I want tomato sauce? One snowflake on top of the cherry. We got snowflake shake pasta for the seasons, for the festivity of it. It also didn't show the thing, which makes me wonder, but I'm curious about the still. And yeah, we might be talking during it, who knows, or we look past it, nobody knows. But yeah. Because also, yeah. Say that right. Just meant to maybe be on that other screen. Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe I'm just gonna roll with it. Whatever we end up doing, we end up doing. Ooh, that got hot. Ooh, and the handle wasn't, but I almost jiggled it a little bit. As one would do sometimes. Hopefully it won't seem like there's a film. I'm just a photographer. Thanks for showing your care to the wife. Of course. That's already quite saucy. Well, I'll have this for lunch, I think, but those pickles will not last forever. They're already kind of a funny color. Now I'm starting to get it all, that's for sure. How hungry when I start, who knows, but get that last little bit out, because I bet you some people are grateful, but they may really think of it, because the longest time I did. Do I want to add more tomato sauce to it? Just a little bit. Ooh, poured out quite a bit and went into the next section. Okay. Oh yeah, I think I'm probably going to wrap up so I can just focus a bit more strongly at what I'm doing here. And then get to it. I think it's drying out, we just got it. That way you can make as much noise as you want to, and I don't think we were going to ask this far in, but you know, as much as I want to grate it, they were small pieces and cut out, so there you have it. Okay. It's pretty hot. I don't want to make it too milky though.